DLC. Yeah. You know, I've thought about this more and more. Nintendo as a company is very wishy-washy. They're kind of like Charlie Brown in a sense, where they know what they want, and sometimes they know how to achieve it, and then other times they sidestep themselves and don't understand how to get to something that they like. I stuttered so much during that sentence. But there's one thing, actually there's multiple things, but there's one thing I'm going to talk about today that Nintendo has consistently hit a home run, slammed it out of the park. We made a sports reference on this channel. It's DLC. Nintendo handles this concept so brilliantly. Originally, the concept of DLC was, hey, let's release a game, and then maybe, 6 months to a year down the line, let's develop some new content, release it as a later patch, maybe for free, maybe we'll just charge a little bit extra, but we'll just kind of get the audience, the consumer base, interested in our product again. You see, whenever people tell me that Nintendo is kind of out of touch in today's industry, I can agree with that to some point. Definitely. And then I see something like DLC, and their practices and how they handle that, and I'm like, they understand us. But just sit back with me here. Just sit back and let's just look at some of the great examples of Nintendo in this modern day and age with DLC. Let's get the ball rolling with Mario Kart 8. I find it incredibly hard to believe that in the modern day and age there's actually some type of developer out there that understands that, hey, maybe gamers don't want to pay $40 for DLC that, half of that probably should have been included in the original game release. And then something like Mario Kart 8 comes out and just blows us all out of the water with its $11.99 US priced DLC that came with 16 tracks, 8 new cars, and 6 new characters. To be perfectly honest, I don't even care if there's like a conspiracy theory out there from people saying that, oh, Nintendo held content back from us. They told us that they weren't gonna get all this made, and then they acted like they did and charged a really good price for it. I really don't know whose voice I was trying to do there. Because honestly, they still gave us a staggering amount of content. They already gave us 32 tracks, an overwhelming amount of cards to, and just pieces to unlock, and then all these characters to unlock. Now let's actually move on to another game that Nintendo kind of tested the waters with DLC with. Pikmin 3. The $2 packs for 4 maps. They're just giving content away at this point, and that is amazing to see in a huge AAA developer nowadays. I mean, the only developer I can argue that might be doing DLC better than Nintendo nowadays is CD Projekt Red with The Witcher 3, and Yacht Club Games with Shovel Knight. I mean, it's nice to see these developers like rising above the ashes of just crap that is spewed throughout the gaming industry nowadays and giving us stuff like this. I mean, I don't even want to sound entitled here because I'm not, but if I drop $60 on your game, don't expect me to drop another 40 on your DLC. Now let's move on to arguably the greatest game in all of human creation. Hyrule Warriors. And I will objectively argue that with somebody. Hyrule Warriors is one of the only games, actually I think it is the only game I have ever purchased a season pass for. If you own Hyrule Warriors, you know how much content you got, but if you don't, I'm gonna try to explain it as briefly as I can. Hyrule Warriors probably has about 150 hours roughly, I'd say, for completing the game, and maybe a little bit extra. And when I mean completing the game, I don't mean going completionist levels. I'm talking about just beating like the adventure mode map and beating the full story and beating like the challenges and that kind of stuff. You don't have to collect every single thing throughout the game. I mean, I'm still collecting gold skulltulas like to this point. Like as we're sitting here right now, I'm playing the game with my butt cheeks. So I'd say there's about that much packed in the game at launch. Probably more. I'm probably underestimating the game, but I'd say it's that is dwarfed now with the amount of content that came out for $20 extra. Keep in mind, this is only $20 extra for these 4 DLC packs that got announced. Excuse me, released. That probably quadrupled the game length for me. I mean, there's no end in sight for me. I love games like that too that aren't MMO styled, but seem almost unimaginably unending. That's a lot of adjectives. This game will last throughout the entire Wii U's lifetime for me, and possibly the entire NX's lifetime for me, because I continuously come back to the game, and I'm pretty sure they've even talked about updating it even more after the Wind Waker thing that's coming out with Hyrule Warriors Legends. I just kicked the microphone, I think. And then there's something like Splatoon that came out, and it didn't have the greatest of launches. I thought that the game was extremely underwhelming at launch. They have periodically came out week after week, month after month, and released free content, free updates, free Splatoon for everybody. That's how it should be. They have more than made up for that game's subpar launch, and I am more than happy for everyone out there who wants to be a squid and a kid, and you can be if you really want to be. I am more than happy for you to have all your free Splatoon stuff, and boom, God, I wish I could join you, but my internet sucks. Now let's move on to the next game on the list, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. Now this one's a little bit more controversial. I understand some people have a little bit of a pricing issue with this, and I can kind of get behind you on that, because I see that it's taking tropes from other fighting games in the industry right now, which can be good and bad. But here's the thing that I want to defend Nintendo on. They have continuously released free content. Not everything that they have released since launch of Smash has been paid content. Just a few come to mind here. The recent Duck Hunt stage that came to Smash 3DS, the Miiverse stage, let's see, tournament mode. Now along that, they have had paid content, which hasn't been among the best pricing structures we've seen in recent years. It's not as bad as horse armor from Metal Gear Solid 5. But I do credit Nintendo for giving discounted prices if you buy the Wii U and the 3DS version. I think that's great. Simple things like that. So while I won't defend them fully, I think $5 for a character for both versions is a little ridiculous. I think it should be $4, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. Buying stages for $2 for the 3DS version, that ain't bad. Because if you look at examples of bad DLC, you could hit something that's not like Hyrule Warriors, which charges $1 for a costume. That's nothing. Let's see, Konami stripped the suit that you unlock at the end of Metal Gear Solid games, which has basically been a staple in the series' history throughout the years, and they ripped it, and now they're charging you for that. And how about EA's DLC in general? I mean, that's always pretty terrible. I mean, for God's sakes, in the Saboteur, you could pay $3 to unlock stripper costumes that weren't costumes, because they removed the nipple armor that they had. Are you kidding? $3 just to see some virtual nakedness? Go online for that. Capcom had you paying extra for the true ending of Asura's Wrath. I mean, guys, it goes on and on. So whenever I see Nintendo release a game and then talk about the DLC after it's released, that excites me. I like seeing that, because nowadays we actually have companies out there that talk about the DLC before the game is even announced. And believe you me when I say that this is how I look whenever I see bad DLC. And then this is how I look whenever I see great DLC. So guys, from now on, when you think about Nintendo, think about how great their DLC is.